Hello, dividend executives. Welcome back. The stock market is open, so you already know we are buying stocks and we are adding assets to the portfolio. Let's take a look at the count. Let's buy some stocks. We're going to be making some big moves today. And what are we going to talk about? Well, we're going to talk about how much BITO it would take to make $2,500 a month in pure passive dividend income. And we're going to also make a big purchase. So right now we're sitting at $19,476, down 1.61% for the week. For the month, we are up $654 or 3.47. Year to date, up 2.99%, and all-time up 7.7 or so percent. So not too bad. We just keep on keeping on, and we keep buying stocks each and every single week, and slowly our dividends continue to rise. So we have buying power of $3,581. We have a clean spark put, 5 of them out on the table right now. We're up $70 on that. These are at $1, so these should expire worth this, or I may roll them as it comes to Friday, but not too bad for a little bit of extra change, making $70 for the week. We've got some TSL calls that are up as well, and things are looking good on that front. So let's take a look. As always, you can see the plus marks next to SCHD and VTI. We have the daily purchases there of $5 each and every single day to build the backbone there. We are at 50 shares, which is a pretty cool achievement on SCHD. This was up at 80 the other day. We have seen SCHD come down about $3 over the last week, so obviously it affects the portfolio value, but still up 4.89%, so we'd love to see that. And we continue to DCA into that. And then same thing with VTI, $5 every single day, 7.69% and $2,000 or 9.11% of the portfolio. So those are our two big bangers there. And then the next one on the list is going to be BITO for today. Last thing, let's take a look at our dividends. We are pretty much done for the month of May. We have a little bit that may come in. The only one that came in this week was SPYI. Pretty decent dividend. We have 11.11 shares here. We got paid almost 50 cents a share. So $5.55, and we reinvested that to buy ourselves 0.11 shares. So that's pretty cool to see. Our drip is on, and it is continuing to buy us more income each and every single month. XOM for next month, that's the only one that's declared as of right now. We have a bunch that are going to be declared on the 31st or the end of May. And then we will see a bunch of pending dividends coming into June. Hoping to break some records in June. I would love to get to the $400 a month mark. I think we can get it done, but we will have to see. But those are all the dividends. And then I can scroll through these real quick. These are the ones that we received in May. Obviously a big month for us, over $300. And Yield Max always bringing it in big time. And we have collected a bunch of income. BITO, this one has just continues to kill it. 20 shares there paid us $1.68 per share. And then we have been building IWMY heavy, JPI heavy, and JEPQ heavy. So those are all the ones for May. So let's jump into it. Let's talk about what we're looking at today. And I have been adding to this because obviously I'm a big Bitcoin person, and in the forms of dividend, this is one I have really liked as of late. I've liked it as an overall investment. We're up $104, and I have really liked it as a dividend payer as well, right? So we are down 1.35% today, 3.88% today, or this week on BITO, but year to date, obviously up 21%, 1 year up 69%. So this one's been doing really good. I have 23 shares as of right now. $631 market value and 2.87%. So we're up 20% on these shares. That's a big way to average up if I add to it, but I think there's a lot of momentum going into 2025 with this. So I want to stack and I want to see how it goes. We kind of just saw this, but the amount per share is $1.68 in dividends, which is really, really hefty. And it's cool to see that my shares came in on drip and bought me 1.4 shares more. So my shares came in and bought me over $2 of forward income every single month going forward, which is pretty cool to see as long as all things stay equal, obviously. And I want to add to that. So I want to compound this. I want to add a little bit of extra money today, actually quite a bit of extra money today. And I want to do it to this position before, because the ex-dividend date, I believe, is on the 31st for this one. And so we will see the declaration here. And I want to boost my numbers for June as we go into the back half of 2024. I want to start really getting this dividend snowball going. So we have 23 shares. I want to buy 27 shares today It's going to cost me $738. That's going to round me out to 50 shares. You'll see in a little bit why I want 50 shares. But that's what we're doing. So a big change on the account. This is definitely going to make a big difference. Just that $27 alone is going to make a huge difference when it comes to the dividend I receive. Obviously, if we took the 27 shares times the $1.68, we're talking about $45 of income every month we just bought ourselves, which is pretty cool. And that's just on that. So we just raised our dividend income monthly by, roughly $40 to $50 each and every single month, just based off that alone. So we have 50 shares. We have a $1,300 market value, 6% of the portfolio. We went from 20% up to now only 8% up, obviously because we raised our costs significantly. But I think this is going to be a winner for the next 12 months. After that, I'll probably sell it off, or maybe just leave it on drip. I don't know. We'll just have to double check. But for the most part, that's the biggest move we're making for the day. We made a big addition to the account, making that purchase. And obviously it moved some things around, but it's going to increase our dividend income a lot. So let's jump into it. Let's take a look where we're at, right? So for May, we're pretty much done. We're at 330. I think we have Devo that's going to come in, and that's probably the last one. That's going to be $3 to $4. That's pretty consistent. So probably 350 there. So we're going to come in around that $335 mark. For the month of May. And then, like I said, for June, I want to pop 400, and I think it's possible. This move is going to help us get much closer. Obviously, we have SCHD that's going to be coming in, and VTI that's going to be coming in. VYM will come in for a couple of bucks as well. So those quarterly dividend payers are going to help us move the needle. But you saw in March, we had the steam of the 357, and we've been adding heavy since March. So $400 is definitely in line, and we're going to add to it heavy. So that's the whole month of May there, around the 335. This is all the dividends we've received so far, 2,314. If you want to look at it real quick in the comparison, we just need to beat 58 to beat last year's number in June, which we should be able to do. Obviously, we beat May's number by a significant portion, and we're just going to continue to roll this up. So there's the numbers there, and then if you want to look at it on the chart, of course, always you can see we're just slamming it. And I just want to consistently start breaking that $400 line and making these other charts look really, really small. But let's jump into BITO, right? So what I did is I just mocked this up real quick. And this is just a tracker on BITO. We take the price of the shares, and then we take the cost if we were to do 50 shares, which is now what we have. So we're in $1,300 or so. If we were to buy them right now, $1.68 is how much it paid out last month. And this is the power of drip. This is the power of what I want to show you, because this is real life, right? I own 50 shares now in this account every single month. If all things are equal, next month I'm going to get paid $84. And that, I just am taking, obviously I'm just taking the share price times, or the amount of shares times the $1.68, and then I'm getting the 84, right? So nothing too crazy there. So I get the $84 a monthly dividend. That, if I divide that by the 2732, it's going to buy me 3.07 shares. And my rolling lot would go from 50 to 5307. So if I left everything equal, next month I should have around 53 shares. And then that 53 shares pays me another $1.68 per share. And then I get $89 the following month. I buy myself 3.26. Then I have 56.34, and you can see the power of how it just slowly compounds. We go from 8, and this is putting no extra money in outside of the drip. So we go from 84 to 89 to 94 to 100, all the way down at the end of 12 months. Obviously ignore the months on there. If we did the end of 12 months, we'd be at $161 a month, buying almost 6 shares a month on drip. So almost double the amount of shares you'd buy on drip. And your rolling lot would go from 50 to 102 after a 12-month period. And this is not buying any extra. This is purely based off if it stayed at the $1.68 like it paid out this month, and the share price stayed similar to the 27 on drip, it would just continue to compound, which is really cool to see. You could double your share count without putting a single dollar in, which is awesome to see. And you'd make yourself $1,429 over a 12-month period, which, as you can see with the share cost, would pay for all the shares in itself. So you could basically get all of your money back double your share count, and your dividend snowball would just be off the charts. And you're averaging what, 4.6 shares a month on drip you're buying. So this is pretty cool to see. We talked about how much it would take to make $2,500 a month. So obviously if we took this number, the 50, and let's just say if we did 1,000 shares, let's see how much that gets us, right? So 1,000 shares on average, towards the end of the year, this would hit that $2,500 mark. If you start in January, by August, you'd be hitting $2,500 a month. But you can see the drip on here, right? So 61 shares a month. You go from a rolling lot at the start from 1,000 to 2,046. Same kind of math. You're doubling after a year. And you're providing yourself on average probably around that $2,300 to $2,500 a month. If you were to get crazy and you bought something like, let's just say 2,500 shares. 2,500 shares is going to pay you over $4,000 a month. And by the end, if you continue drip on, you're not taking any of that cash back. You would be at $8,000 a month after a 12-month period, or $71,000 a year. What's cool about that is, I mean, this is above the median salary in the United States, right? So you can be making 71 grand a year off of a $68,000 investment, which is really cool. Obviously, this thing's going to be volatile. It's going to move with Bitcoin. The dividends may go up. The dividends may go down. The share price may go up. The share price may go down. Things like that can change, but we're taking the data we have today and we're expounding it. And it's just cool. I like running these simulations because then it really just puts it on paper what your shares can do if you put it on drip. You guys see my portfolio slowly dripping each and every single month. My dividends continuing to grow. I mean, even if we look at BITO alone, right? We've gone from $5.94 a month to $13.05 to $22 to $34. You can see the growth of what, obviously I'm adding money to it, but I mean, just a bunch of these things, right? Even YMAX from 53 cents to 261, IWMY from 15 to 34, right? Like even SPYI, right? So you just see the power of constantly investing in these into these stocks, these ETFs, and letting drip just do its thing. So that's what I want to talk about today. That's what I want to show. This is BITO. This is one I added heavy to today. Obviously put about $800 into it, and I may continue to add to it just to boost. I really want to see this sucker on drip. I'm going to change this back down again to the 50 because that is real life. We own 50 shares in this portfolio, and at the end of the year, I will double my share count over the next 12 months if I just let this sucker sit, if all things stay equal. So that's everything I got for today. Always fun jumping into the numbers and looking at some stuff. If you have any questions, comments, or want me to run some numbers on a particular stock for you, I can easily just throw the ticker in here and the amount of shares. But thanks everybody. As always, drop a like, and happy investing. We'll catch you next week.